This is SoundOff, Louisiana's premier television sports show. Coming to you from Sportsbook at L'Auberge Lake Charles. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Coming from the comfy confines here at the Sportsbook at L'Auberge, we are back. At times we tout ourselves. Would you stop playing and hitting?
I was happy to
like
see
children over here. We tout ourselves as the three wise guys of TV sports talk in this region. I don't know how wise we were after the conference championship games. I know I was 1 out of 2. You guys were like 0 for 2.
No, I had the Chiefs.
No, you had the Baltimore.
Lamar broke my heart.
Lamar
broke my heart, but I was kind of feeling the 49ers.
Yeah, he broke a lot of
Lamar
hearts.
You know
Jackson
I wouldn't
broke my
pick
heart,
those
man.
uniforms.
Yeah, you hated the uniforms. I got that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Black
All right.
and purple.
Look,
does
we have
not
a
just
great,
didn't go
we
together,
have a great Super Bowl matchup with the Chiefs and the 49ers. We'll talk about that next week as we get into Super Bowl week. We'll give our thoughts on that. We're going to tear the Band-Aid off, so to speak, on the losers, on how the Lions and the Ravens screwed up and lost their conference championship. A little different bend. We'll do that.
That's a
More on LSU's co-offensive
Leonard's
coordinators.
loser. Remember that?
Yeah. Will it work? Will it work? The two guys. We'll talk about that. I want to get into what's turned out to be a very impressive coaching tree for former McNeese head football coach Matt Viator. The coaching tree and all the guys that were on his staff at various times now at Power 5. Hang around for that because it's very impressive. Cowboys have another big test coming up this weekend. They go to Southeastern in basketball. My alma mater, they're going to go to Hammond. All right. And this court rushing deal in college basketball has to stop.
Why?
I don't want opinions.
Why?
I don't want opinions.
No.
We'll get into that later.
Love of
on
the
this.
game.
It's
Love of the game.
Out of control.
Love of the game.
Out of control. All right, let's get into back to LSU and his co-coordinator. All right, so Joe Sloan is going to be we'll call it play caller. Cortez Hankton, passing game coordinator. As many times as LSU wants to throw the football, it's huge. I think but none of them have called plays at this level. Now, Joe Sloan may have called some plays at Louisiana Tech.
Well, he was offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I know.
Louisiana.
But this is LSU now. This is Power 5. This is SEC.
It is.
So
you with the big boys now.
Any concern with that? I'm not taking anything away from them.
I'm just.
Joe Brady didn't call any plays either.
No,
and look what he did.
But he whispered in Steve Ensminger's ear a lot.
Nothing wrong with being a whisperer.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong
But
with
Joe
that.
Brady had skill sets much higher to where he could bring to the college game, if you know what I mean when I say that.
Well, it was a little Sean Payton influence.
That's what I'm saying, Rick. That's what I'm saying. So,
but look what Joe Sloan did with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Give him his props on that.
Yeah.
All right. Give him some props on that.
But
Well, he took a good, dangerous quarterback from the previous year and turned him into a Heisman Trophy winner.
That's huge.
And you know what?
You're right.
Maybe I need to give him a little bit more credit, Rick, because you know why I say that? When you have a quarterback who's as talented as Daniels, you know, what if you would have made him a drop-back quarterback? You would have killed the kid.
Well, that
Great
would have been
segue.
You would
pretty
have killed
dumb.
him.
Great segue.
You would have killed him.
All right. So I heard commentary during the Lions and the 49ers that Ben Johnson has the OC will probably get the Washington Commanders job.
He probably will. He probably will.
And one of his strengths was, Jared Goff said it, great relationship, great communication, and he gets to know what the offensive guys do well. Joe Sloan knows what those quarterbacks
That's not
do
exactly reinventing the wheel.
No. Hang on to the thought here.
I know what.
But Joe Sloan knew what Jaden Daniels, to your point.
Yes.
Okay. He's going to know what Garrett Nussmeier does well.
That's
and
my
same
point.
thing for Hankton. He knows what those receivers did well. So will they formulate plays that fit this personnel more so than just a system?
You have to.
Give Sloan credit, too, for knowing what Jaden Daniels could do well and hadn't been doing it at all, was throwing the deep ball.
The deep ball.
That was the biggest difference. Daniels ran all over the place the year before.
Yeah.
But they got it in Daniels' head. They needed more big plays. They had very few.
And he worked at it, too.
And you're right.
Yeah. And he worked at it, and they had the receivers to do it, obviously.
A good point there. Yeah.
And that's, to Scooter's point, when you have guys like what he just said that can stretch the field, that becomes available.
But you see, you missed it. I mean, I laid out a tray of lasagna
I
for you.
gave it to
No, wait
you.
a minute.
I
I laid
gave it
out
to
a
you.
tray of lasagna for you to start digging in like the king cake thing. Basically, what have you been yelling about for like, I don't know, 20 years?
Yeah.
Fit the offense to what your personnel
Well,
can
that's
do.
an automatic, guys. Come on, I've been
No,
saying
it
this for
isn't
20
automatic
years.
all the time.
Look,
No, it isn't.
if you're a good offensive coordinator, if you're a good coach, you know what type of talent your team has, and you build that talent around that. Can I go back to my favorite
not always
coach?
the case.
On
It's not
Sparger.
always the case.
On Sparger defense. He knew we had rushing talent on those ends. That's what we did. That's how we attack people.
I go to the
And
AFC
because
Championship
of
game.
that,
I go to the AFC Championship game. Todd Monken, all right, John Harbaugh, they're a running team, and they ran the ball like 8 times. No, it isn't always the case.
Well, Rick, but
It
you
is
know
always
what, though? If it's in a situation where you have people that's that skilled to do that, you better take advantage of it. You
Well, though,
better
I will
take
say
advantage of it.
this, looking at it the opposite way, the worst thing a coach or a coordinator can do is say, well, this is our system. This is what we run.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ignore whether you've got square
Scooter,
pegs and
you're
round
so right.
holes.
That is crazy, Scooter. If you find a staff that does that,
That's my point.
that is crazy.
All right.
That's
Let me
crazy.
shift to Matt Viator and the coaching tree that continues to sprout, if you will. Okay? Matt Viator is the offensive analyst with UL Lafayette now. All right. Lance Guidry
Yeah.
was on his staff.
Yes.
DC at Miami.
Yeah.
Slade Nagel.
Head
now,
coach here too now.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
But I'm talking about Viator and
Yeah.
Slade Nagel, offensive coordinator at Tulane, tight ends coach. Now
Yeah.
the tight ends coach, probably special teams coach at LSU.
At LSU.
At LSU. Chris Hampton, all right, secondary coach, co-defensive coordinator at Oregon.
Yeah.
You can't get any bigger at Oregon.
Yeah.
Amon Nagave, former offensive lineman on Nagel's staff, offensive coordinator at Houston. Rob Sale, offensive coordinator
Yeah.
at Florida. The list goes on and on and on. This is the coaching tree of Matt Viator. Guys, that's
And you know,
impressive.
It is impressive. But you know what kind of finds me even more impressed to know that Matt never coached in the top 5. I mean, he didn't. He
Power
didn't,
5?
Power,
Yeah.
He never coached in it. But to have those guys on your staff, hey.
Think about that, folks.
Hey.
Think about this. The Max Bar and Grill at the National Golf Club in Westlake. Oh, my gosh. Legendary, named after Westlake head football coach Max Calderera.
Yes.
They're building their own legacy. Follow Coach Max's work ethic and winning ways with great food and drinks, MVP service, special menu items on Tuesdays and Fridays, great brunches on the weekend, and wall-to-wall live sports.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at L'Auberge Lake Charles.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Welcome back to the Sportsbook at LaVere. This is Sound Off, brought to you by J&J Exterminating, also brought to you by Miller Lite and LaVere Casino Resort.
Yes.
I think a little dramatic pause there.
Oh,
No,
that-
I was
but
wondering
this is
what
the
that
place.
was for.
All right,
This is the place.
coming up, Cowboy basketball, another big test on the road coming up Saturday at Southeastern.
Yes.
And this court storming thing.
Rick,
it's been going on for
let
like,
it
I don't
go.
know, 50
Let it
years,
go,
but
Rick.
it is
Let it
out of
go.
control.
Let it go,
Out
Rick.
of control.
Let it go.
College basketball storming the court.
Let it
I
go,
will make
Rick.
my case, and you guys will
Let
be
it
wrong.
go.
All right, look. We know it's the Chiefs and 49ers in Super Bowl 58 Vegas next week. We'll have our commentary on the
Viva.
Super Bowl next week. We're gonna talk about the losers, a little different bet. How they lost, why they lost, and what the heck did they do, like screw up wrong. The Lions missing out on a chance to go to their first ever Super Bowl.
I'm still crying.
Y'all should get this easy. We used to do this. We used to do trivia and all. Can you name the other 3 teams in the NFL that have not played in the Super Bowl? The other 3.
Houston.
Detroit's one. Okay.
Come on, wait a
10
minute.
seconds. We got to roll,
Rick,
baby.
come
We
on,
got to
man.
roll. Florida, North Florida.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. He's beating you, man. Come on.
I'm
man.
sorry, man.
Come on.
Um,
Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco. Great defense right now. The Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland. I was gonna say Cleveland. But
Texans,
you know what?
Jaguars, Browns, and Lions.
I was gonna say Cleveland, but I thought Brown. I thought he took him to one.
No. They used to win championships.
Yeah,
back in
I thought
the
that's why I didn't want to say that. I thought he
1950s,
took
but
him
not
to
the
one.
Super Bowl. Let's start with Detroit and San Francisco. 17-point lead, guys.
Ah.
What went wrong? 17-point lead?
This is my thing.
Part of it's bad luck.
Yeah, Scooter, I gotta agree.
I
Because
mean, that
the
reception
bouncing ball
off
on the head.
the
Bouncing
helmet.
pass, come on.
And,
51-yard
that's
play.
it. And it was just a minute later that you had the fumble.
Yep.
Those 2 plays in about 10 seconds of playing time.
this is
I'll go with you a little bit on the luck. Yeah.
my thing. I tell you, and I said it the week before we left to go watch the conference championship game. You've got the fastest guy in the NFL on your team. How many times did they throw the ball deep to Reynolds? How many times? I know. You got the fastest guy in the NFL. He's faster than Hill, Tyreek Hill. He's faster than Tyreek
You
Hill.
talking about for the Detroit Lions?
Detroit Lions, yes. The receiver, Reynolds.
I did not know that.
He's the fastest guy in the league.
I did not know that.
I said it last week, guys. Look it up. Look it up.
Roll the tape back.
Look it up. He's
Faster
the
than
He did
Tyreek.
He's
say
faster than
that
Tyreek
last
Hill.
Faster than Tyreek Hill?
Yes.
I don't know who
Yeah, but
told
he had dropped
Kevin
balls,
that.
so he can't catch.
My point. But
He
you
can't
threw the ball.
catch.
You threw the ball deep to him twice. Are you kidding me?
All right, so you think Campbell?
no,
You
they-
think Campbell backed off? You think Campbell? You said earlier in the week you thought
I
Campbell.
like Campbell, man, but you know what? You got the
love
fastest guy in
Campbell.
the league. I'm gonna stretch him, Rick. I'm gonna stretch him, bro.
Look,
Easy
Nobody
for
can
you
cover
to
this
say.
guy.
look. Earlier in the week we talked about Dan Campbell on the 4th down. All right, look. The only one that really hurt him was the late one in the 4th quarter when they could have went up by 6. Take that aside. Take the Gibbs fumble was huge. The bouncing ball off the head, yada yada. That set up quick. It was quick.
It was
Yeah,
quick.
momentum.
I mean, the
It did.
game
It did.
turned just
It
like
changed
that.
that quick.
Detroit
Within
and
8
Garrett
minutes.
scared off. They couldn't resume that momentum on their side. They
The
couldn't.
49ers closed that gap within 8 minutes. Within
They
8
did.
minutes.
Yeah.
They closed
So
that gap.
we're talking about what they did wrong to the Lions lose it, but maybe it's more the 49ers just finally
it.
got off
Stop
their
it.
rear end and played
Rick,
the kind of football.
Let
that
me
they
tell
can
you
play.
something. That day,
I'm not
Detroit was the
convinced.
better team. That day, Detroit was the better team. They had some
In
bad
the
breaks.
first
They
half.
had some
In
bad
the
breaks.
first half.
They had some bad breaks, man, that cost them that game. I'm telling you, they were the better team. I'm telling you.
They got a great offensive line.
They were the better
That
team,
Sewell,
Rick.
That guard, Sewell, Panay.
Man.
I mean, that was interesting. Putting
That-
him in motion. This Ben Johnson guy, offensive coordinator for the Lions, watch out. Watch out.
If the Lions can keep
Get rid of
everybody
Dennis Allen. Hire
intact,
this guy.
or some of those guys, they'll be back. Detroit will be back.
All right, let's move to the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Oh, I'm gonna put my head down on that one.
Hey, I want to ask y'all something.
I
Go
can't
ahead.
even
The group
comment.
I was watching that game with yesterday, it was like we said it once. And this isn't important to the game. You'll hate this. From the 2-minute warning on of that Ravens
Ravens
and
game?
Chiefs, from the 2-minute warning on, it lasted 45 minutes, I swear.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They had like 6 commercial breaks in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But go ahead,
Okay,
carry on. I
I
know
will
you don't
carry on,
like
'cause I
getting
don't know how
off
that-
script. You don't like getting off
Woo!
script.
Yeah.
All right. No, it went on and on.
to me-
But look, to me, the biggest thing was why didn't the Ravens, Harbaugh, Munkin, they all panicked. They got down quick by 14. I think they panicked and said, we're going to just chunk it down. The offensive game plan was awful. They sent everybody deep. We're sitting there watching the game, Kevin, I'm thinking, Lamar, run or just throw it, do something.
Yeah, don't
back
just
to
sit.
this,
You're
this.
just sitting.
And the
You're
Kansas
just
City's-
sitting there, man.
The blitzing, they're going to get him.
You're just sitting there. And
There was
I'm
nobody
saying,
open.
When have you seen the
Do a
Ravens?
underneath route. Give him some check down.
When have you seen the Ravens score 10 points, Rick?
They averaged 28.
When have you
and they
seen them
scored
score
10.
10 points?
They didn't run the ball. It was okay. So bullet pointed. the offensive game plan was terrible.
Horrible.
Lamar Jackson
Horrible.
was terrible.
Lamar.
How much? Because these guys thought they were the big bullies from the East with purple and black. They got bullied. They got taunted, and they got suckered into bad play, emotional, bad play. Those penalties were killers,
Let me tell
guys.
you.
Well, that taunt.
The thing that's got to
Killers.
hurt the Ravens, you come into this game as the #1 seed. Scooter.
So, I mean,
Best
it's
record
not
in the NFL.
unusual.
It's football.
Best
I
not
get it.
in the
unusual.
NFL.
But with that comes responsibility of saying, you know what, we're not going to give this away because we've earned this to be here as the #1 seed.
I tell you guys.
And they gave it away.
I tell you.
Well, I don't think they gave it away.
Scooter.
They didn't
Scooter.
play well, but the
They
Chiefs,
didn't play well. They didn't play well. They
Chiefs
gave it
don't
away.
have to apologize like the 49ers.
They
did.
gave it away. They didn't play well. They gave it
You
away.
have to watch these NFL games, and you've got to appreciate the greatness of Andy Reid and that staff, and in particular, Steve Spagnuolo. That man
That
has
defense,
turned into
that defense
a defensive
was that
savant.
defense was on. Rick.
Because he's been having Kansas City's
Yeah, am
known
I
for their
wrong? I
offense.
mean, the
but
Chiefs
Spags and that defense.
That defense was on.
Chiefs have been a big factor ever since they got Mahomes. Face
of course.
Yeah.
Is this the first year people realize that they got a pretty good defense?
No, I mean they've been
No.
pretty good the last 3 or
But-
4 years.
It seems to me it's the first time
Come on.
anybody
They're
noticed.
very good.
Come on, guys.
Too
But
busy.
Baltimore's better.
Wait.
Statistically, they're better.
Thank you, Rick and Scooter. You said here, Rick said here, and I said
But-
here at the beginning of the season. Did we honestly think that KC was going to the Super Bowl? The answer is no.
No.
Baltimore didn't have Taylor Swift.
The secret weapon. Guys, Zay Flowers, the rookie, the
You're killing
taunt,
me,
the
Scooter.
fumble, all of this,
None
you
of that
throw it
helped.
all in
None
the
of
big
that.
pot, they just stunk. They took a bad day to have a bad game, and they stunk.
I hate that for the
Guys,
Ravens, man. I do.
Kansas City will be an underdog against San
They
Francisco
will.
in the Super Bowl?
They will.
Whew, I don't know how
They
you
will.
bet against Patrick Mahomes. I just don't know.
You
All
don't.
right, we're
Don't.
up against the clock. We'll
Yes.
jump to break. We're coming back in just a bit to the Sportsbook. Stay right there.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
We're back at the Sportsbook at LeBaire. SoundOff brought to you by our friends at Lundy Law in Lake Charles. Also
Yes.
brought to you by J&J Exterminating and the great taste and only 96 calories of Miller Lite. They bring you SoundOff. All right. Hey, don't forget, if you missed any of SoundOff, check us out on cbslakeCharles.tv on YouTube.
Yes.
You can go there, cbslakeCharles.tv,
.tv.
catch us on YouTube. And hey, jump on the Facebook page.
Do that, please.
Jump on our Facebook page.
Friend us.
You can comment about Hobbs constantly complaining. He never gets enough time to talk. You can comment about Guidry's
do it. Don't do
ridiculous
it.
rants,
Don't do it. They're
firing
always
every
right.
coach.
I'm always right.
And you can ask us questions. You put a question
Yes,
on there.
you can.
You know,
We love to have it.
Yeah, it'd be fun. On
We
our
would.
Facebook page, by the way. All right, gentlemen. All right. You were at the McNeese game, basketball game,
Yes.
UNO. You buying?
Yeah.
You're buying.
Oh, yeah.
You're a big believer now. You saw it up close.
You
saw
know
their
what?
speed. You saw their talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd seen it
Unbeaten
on
in the league.
TV. I was seeing it on TV.
Yeah.
It's more impressive in
It's a
person
lot different in person. Yes,
than
it
it
is.
is on TV. Tell you what I did when I got home. I did a Google search.
Come on.
See where the first round NCAA tournament games are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the
interesting.
closest one to here would be Memphis.
Memphis.
Keep Memphis in mind, because that goes into my my little
on.
rant about court storming.
Stop it.
All right.
Stop it, Rick.
Look,
Let those kids have their fun, man.
look, they seemed the Cowboys basketball-wise. They're answering all the tests.
They
so
are.
far. I mean, you get down by 18 at Corpus Christi, you battle back. You go on the road at Northwestern, you get down a little bit because you can't hit the side of the barn, but they figure out how to win. And of course, what was it? Incarnate Word, tight game, and then Shoemate with 3 straight shoe slams to bury. They seem to have an answer.
Look.
And Will Wade is just pulling every string and hitting every button just right, per se. But doggone it, guys, look at the roster. Junior, a lot of experience. Senior play, graduate guys. These are smart players.
They are, Rick. And you have to look at that and understand that too.
And Wade, and he doesn't need me to tell him what to do. They're going to win the Southland. Okay?
Yeah.
Regular season.
I'm kind of with Scooter on that. Yeah.
He has the luxury now of testing, different situations, things like that, because they probably still will have to win the Southland Conference.
Yeah.
Save that thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Save that thought.
You're right.
You
I
usher
know.
it in and we'll go down that road.
Right.
What you're talking about is creeping into my mind.
Yeah.
But
What?
yeah.
You have to win to
Then
go.
maybe they don't.
That's the
have
crazy
to.
thing, man.
We're going to get on
crazy.
that. We're going to get on
You
that a
have
little
to
bit.
win to go.
Earlier in the week, we talked about the depth now that Mike Saunders is coming off the bench. You got Felder off the bench. You got DJ Richards. Richards and Javon Garcia. And
Garcia,
Wells too.
man.
But
I like-
have you ever
I like
seen
Garcia,
a sweeter three-point shot than those guys?
I know,
Now, they don't
man.
make all of
I
them.
like Garcia,
But
though.
Richards and Garcia, it's just
Yeah.
the form and the
It is.
rotation of the ball. Shahada, Wells, I mean, the stat lines that Wells comes up with. This is your first time seeing him up close.
Yeah.
I've been talking about him since he's been, I mean.
He's
these
the
guys
smoothest
are-
guy,
are-
Rick, I think I've ever seen play.
Elite
He is
players
smooth, man.
For this level of basketball. All right.
This thing impressed me the most. I didn't see a big weakness you can exploit on them.
I'll talk to Will Wade. He'll come up with a
Oh,
few.
yeah. I mean,
But
but that's
the
Some
his
of their
job.
defensive rotation, some of that really in the weeds kind of stuff that you got to have a keen eye
The
for.
one
He's
thing
seen.
that I was
But
impressed.
I agree with
the
you.
one thing that I was impressed in watching him, Rick, all the times I've watched him, is their ball movement.
Yes.
Dude, that is unbelievable,
You
man.
and I were talking about that.
Yes, the ball movement is crazy, Rick. It is crazy, man. Wow.
It is a big road test Saturday at Southeastern. Another one of those tests.
Yeah.
They'll probably be in nip and tuck game for a while, and if they follow form, they should pull some levers.
They should.
And open up the lead. We'll see. Southeastern maybe not as strong. They're preseason number 1.
Yeah.
All right, let's go there.
Here we go.
You're saying they're going to win the conference. This is a one big bid league.
I'm saying it too.
They get into the tournament that's going to be at the Legacy Center.
Yeah.
They got to win it to assure themselves the bid.
You're right, Rick.
Will the NCAA, because of Will Wade, if they get to 30 wins, will they honor the league, the Southland,
The
with
answer
an
is no.
at-large?
The answer is no.
I'm not so sure.
I don't know if they-
I'm not
I don't
so
know
sure.
if
It's
it's-
always been
I
you
don't know
have
if
to win
it's
the you have to win the tournament to get in.
I know.
Is that the way it's always
This
been?
is different. This is a different
I
year,
don't,
man.
I don't know if it's because of Will Wade, but
30
yeah,
wins.
there's a big
They would make an exception, Scooter?
Well,
It's not an
it's a
exception.
committee. It's not
Yeah.
like.
But if you've always done that,
But look who they beat.
Yeah, but there's no rule there,
No, there's no
Kevin.
rule.
There's
Okay.
no rule. It's just it's tough for a mid-major conference to
Yeah.
get a second team. That's why I've always thought it's stupid for some of these mid-majors to have a conference.
To have the
tournament.
tournament.
you
Why?
right. You right.
All
Why?
you're going to do is
No.
Because you
you're
gotta
going to
win.
penalize somebody more likely than you're going to
Yeah, but
reward.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll sit here and say, "What are you crazy, Hobbs? We want the tournament."
Yeah.
it's millions of dollars in this. I got it,
And that's why it's
a
there
great-
at
a
the
great
Legacy
event.
Center. That's why
Yeah,
it's
but
there.
when it was in
Millions of
Katy,
dollars.
Texas,
Yeah.
who gives a flying flip?
Who gives? Yeah, you're right.
Who gives a flying flip?
Oh, they bow down to ESPN.
I know. Oh, look, it's content. Look,
Well, I hope
They
that's
were.
not the case, Scooter.
if
Okay.
Will
I hope
Wade,
that's not the case.
because of the way, look, the committee will look at these non-conference wins.
30 wins is a lot of wins, man. That's a lot
They
of
need
wins.
to win the tournament.
30
I got
wins.
it. They need
That's
to
a
win
lot
the
of
tournament.
wins.
And
30
they'll
would be
favored.
tough. Now, they're going to throw a few of them like, what was that, Houston Biblical
Yep.
Studies.
Yep.
Those aren't going to count.
Yep. All right, guys. It's been happening for years. We know it. This
Yeah.
court storming in college
Rick,
basketball
Rick, let
is
these
ridiculous.
kids have
when
their
you
fun.
have Tulane beating number 10 Memphis and you
Stop
storm
it,
the
Rick.
court.
Stop it.
Number 10 Memphis.
It was a big game for them, Rick.
No.
It was a big game for
Something
them,
is
Rick.
going to happen. One of these drunk students are going to mouth off to the opposition team when emotions are high. Somebody's going to take a swing at somebody.
There are a
No,
lot of-
it's a recipe for disaster.
There are a lot of problems in the NCAA.
That ain't one of them,
That's like number 942
It's
on
let
the
those
list.
kids
disagree.
let those kids rush the court.
All right.
Let them rush it.
You know, everybody's going
Let
to
'em
point
rush
to
it.
Ohio State women upsetting Iowa. This girl and this, you can't see me, Courtland,
Yeah.
Caitlin, remember?
She bumped into her. I think it was really dramatic.
She flopped.
Ah! I
Caitlin,
thought
what
it
was her
was.
name?
I
Caitlin
thought it was
Clark?
really
In
dramatic.
soccer,
She
it would have
did.
been a flop. And
Scooter.
it turned out she was back on solid foods within an hour.
Yeah.
So-
You
I'm
could
just saying.
tell, guys, when you looked at it, I'm like,
Gentlemen,
what? My
gentlemen.
daughter showed it to me. She said, Dad, you got
It's
to
a
look
flop.
at this.
We got-
I'm like,
Gentlemen,
come on now.
You've got, I don't know.
Come on now.
South Carolina beating a so-so Kentucky team.
Yeah.
And
No,
they're
it's a
storming
good
the court.
Kentucky team.
Huh?
No, I agree, but for
It's
different
ridiculous.
reasons. I think the stupidest,
So what do you?
most useless thing the SEC does is levy these fines.
They don't
It's
care.
proven. It's no deterrent. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like the students are having to
Yeah,
pay it up.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
You're right.
You
You're
know,
right.
What
Scooter.
is it, 100,000,
Look,
250?
And half the time, in football, I don't know about basketball so much, but whenever somebody pulls a big upset in
Yeah.
football, the AD, you can always
Yeah.
hear him write, I'll be happy to write the check.
Rick, so what you're telling me is
feeding
this.
you're feeding into my
This is
story.
Mr. Grumpy here.
You got 2
So
seconds.
what are you telling me is this? If LSU beats South Carolina, Kim Mulkey saying, students,
That's
no.
exactly what she said.
You gotta be
Act
kidding
like
me.
you've been there.
You gotta be
Listen
kidding
to
me.
Kim
Come on
Mulkey.
now.
Act like you've been there. Unbelievable. I win this argument. We're out of time. We'll see you next time right
Always,
here on
guys.
CBS Lake Charles.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at L'Auberge Lake Charles.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.